Hey everyone, I hope you're all well. Welcome back to the channel. We've got a slightly different video this week. I'm going to be doing a review video, which I don't often get to do. And in this review, we're going to be looking at the Lumi Recovery Pod, which is basically a portable ice bath. So, stay tuned. Now, before we go into looking at the product, there is another video that I've done on this, so go check that out. I'll put that link in the cards. And that really looks at why I decided to take the plunge in buying one of these and trying these out. So check that out if you haven't seen that. Right, let's get into this one. In front of me, I've got the Lumi Pod in its box. So I'm just going to show you that there. So this is how it comes. It's in quite a neat package, very simple to carry, it's not heavy at all, and this is how it was delivered. And part of the reasons, and if you go back to that other video, one of the reasons I did say was because of the size and that it folds away. So if this is the kind of size it packs down to, that's great for me because I don't really want something massive in my garden. My garden isn't that big. Size-wise, it looks pretty good. So just looking at the front there, it is the Lumi Recovery Pod. Now this one comes with the weather cover because it's important to have that to keep bits and pieces out of your water as you use it, because you don't want to be changing it every other day. So that's the whole idea of that. Now with this product I also bought a thermometer, so I'm assuming that's inside it. So let's open it up, let's take it apart, put it together, that kind of thing, and then see how easy this is to do. Okay, so what have we got in here? Aha, that to me looks like the thermometer. Yep, I can see that that's the thermometer that I purchased, as well as an additional. It just sits in it. Now, what have we got inside here? Right, I suppose that is part of the cover, and then this is the actual bath. I can get it out with one hand. There we go. And then inside here you've got the bath, some sort of tube, and that's a pump, I think, to pump it up. And then in the box we've got the supporting sticks, I think. And then I think that's the other part of the cover, possibly. And then inside the box we've got your instructions and some sort of gasket, rubber washer or something, or repair patch. Okay, so there we have, there's the contents of the box. Let's get this thing together. Okay, bear with me on this one because I'm still struggling with my shoulder. It's only been a week since surgery and I'm filming this video, so yeah, the order of these videos are a little bit mixed up. But just, yeah, if you see me just being a bit cack-handed and one-handed, you know why. Right, before I do this, I suppose I should look at the instructions, but as a man, this is not something we usually do. But if I just flick them open, it gives you a list of all the things that should be included, and there is an assembly guide, and it looks pretty straightforward. So there's 8 steps to follow with a few diagrams, so pretty simple to do. Right, let's get that done.
I found a picture we took many years ago, when I said to you we would never grow old. Messages I've saved that I never send, cause I don't know you, but I used to back then. I remember that I was drunk out my mind when we kissed for the first time. In the back of your car we passed out counting stars.
Okay, first impressions were that the pump and this inflatable bit here that you have to do at the top isn't very good, but actually it's my own fault, I think, because the ring has to be outside and I'm trying to pump it up inside. So let me give it another go and make sure I am doing that bit right, and then we'll see what the outcome is then. Okay, that seemed to work. So pulling the lip out and then inflating it, you actually get the rounded shape. It could do with a little bit more air in it, and I think the problem with the pump that you get with it, it's a free pump, it does the job, but it did fly off a few times. So when the pressure gets quite tight in it, the end flies off. So you do have to hold it in place. So if you've got a bike pump or anything like that that you could use, I think you'd get a better outcome with it. I'm going to try and get a little bit more air in it so it is fully round, but we are up and ready. I've closed the drain at the bottom because there is a drain just there. You can see it. So you need to sort of turn that knob there. Now if you're wondering what the hose is for, well, that's for the drainage, I think. So it is extendable, so it does open up, but it basically clips onto the end of the drain, and I think you can run that into an actual drain or a flower bed or something like that. Right, so I've just figured out that this has got a top-up valve on it, which is actually really useful because I've just said about how, you know, you need to get more air in it. It's impossible taking the valve out and putting the pump in because it just all comes out. But that is a top-up valve which you should be able to get one of the ends in to get it really quite tight. So that's a bonus. So that all works, and you can see now it's really quite nice and round and smooth, and there's a lot of air in it. So that top-up valve, really useful. You still do have to hold the pump there though, because it just flies off and it just doesn't stay, but all good for what you get. I think, you know, I'd be happy with that. So before I put any water in it, the last thing to pump up is the cover pod, which sits just in there. And again, same process with the pump again. Get that pumped up, get the cover on, and then we're ready for water. Right, so there's the cover all inflated, and what happens, that sits in there just like that. And then you have another cover which obviously just goes over the top like so. Voila! And that protects it. Obviously you'd put it on a bit neater than I would. Okay, so we're going to work out where this thing's going to go, and I'm just realising how the bloody hell am I going to get it out outside my door. Right, my garden isn't very big, and let's put some shoes on. So I think I'm going to site it just there, just in front of the shed. The ground slopes a little bit, but it's not going to be full to the brim, so I don't think it's going to be too much of a problem. What I am going to do though is clean up the patio because there's pebbles on it and all sorts, which I don't think you would want those underneath it. You don't want to puncture it or anything like that. So let's prepare the patio and then we'll bring it out.
I found a picture we took many years ago, when I said to you we would never grow old. Messages I've saved that I never send, cause I don't know you, but I used to back then. I remember that I was drunk out my mind when we kissed for the first time. In the back of your car we passed out counting stars. Promised all these years we'd pack our things and disappear. I never thought I would see you here after all this time.
Right, so that's where it's going to sit, and I'm assuming that once it fills up with water it'll fill out more, but it's not going anywhere. I'm pretty happy with that. Next job is to get it filled. Okay, one of the bonuses of setting this thing up here is I'm close to my water source, which is just here, so to fill this thing up isn't going to take much. Let's get on with it. As you can see, getting in it, there's plenty of room inside it. One tip I would give you is don't fill it right to the top, because as soon as you submerge yourself, yeah, it will all come over the top. So maybe 3/4 of the way up is probably ideal. Now, one thing you must do when you buy one of these is get yourself some cleansing or sanitizing tablets. Unlike a swimming pool, they don't have a filtration system on them, so you do need to keep that water fairly clean and bacteria free. Now with the weather at this time of the year, it's cold, you know, the pod is covered as well, so bacteria growth will be slow, but the bromine tablets that you can get along with a dispenser to put them in will make your water last a lot longer, and I think you don't have to change it up to a month or so, so it is worth getting yourself some of those as well. So there you go guys, there's the setup and a small review. I know that I haven't had it very long, and I will continue to use it, and I'll probably go back and do a further review video later on, but on first impressions I'm really happy with it. It seems a really sturdy bit of kit. You know, it packs away pretty small as well. Doesn't take up a huge load of room in the garden. And yeah, it's an easy way to get into ice water dipping, I suppose. So I hope you enjoyed this one. If you're new around here, do hit that sub button because it is much appreciated. There's a lot of viewers that watch these videos that aren't actually subscribed. So it would be great if you could do that. And I will see you in the next one.